guys, it is Monday, November 9th. I have lecture today from 1 to 6. It is like 12:15 right now. I'm cooking breakfast. I'm gonna go drop it off to my boyfriend and also drop off some packages to the post office, and then get back, eat breakfast, and then have class at 1 o'clock. So I'll see you guys then. Oh, and we are, oh my gosh, I hope nothing falls. And we are back. Okay, I decided to I was cooking breakfast and my stove wasn't working. It like freaking, it's an electric stove, so I've been having issues with it. If it's not like plugged in correctly, it's not going to turn on, and that was what I was having issues with. So it took me 3 times longer than it took for me to cook breakfast. And I got home at literally like 12:55, and I turned on my computer, and then my professor's like, okay, get ready to take your exam. And then I had to clear everything off my desk. And yeah, so I had to take my fundamentals proctored exam, which I did okay in. What, Louis? Which I did okay. I did pretty good in it. I got way above the recommended percentage. Louis. Shh. So I talked to you guys about like that 3 points needed for lecture. And so basically this is what it is. If you go on your ATI capstone, you'll see that, okay, I did my fundamentals assessment, and under prepare, you need to do a pre-assessment quiz. And then if I go to my progress, I can, go to my progress. Oh, sorry. Oh, if I go under results, it'll show that, look, I got my pre-assessment quiz 1 point. Okay, let's try to get the focus. Got my pre-assessment quiz 1 point, and then fundamentals assessment, I got my 1 point. Then now I have to do my post-assessment assignment, which will be another point. So that's going to be your 3 points that are mandatory for the class every time. So next week I'm going to have to do my pharmacology pre-assessment, and then you're going to do your pharm assessment itself and your post-assessment. So that's your 3 points that you need every single week. So the pre-assessment quiz is due by next week's class at 11:59 p.m., which is on Sunday since I have class on Mondays. Then I have my pharm assessment, which I'll be taking before class on Mondays, and then the post-assessment, which is going to be due after you do the pharm assessment before the next week's class, and then you have to do that pre-assessment for that week's class. So that's what you guys have to do. Show them your new toy. I got him this thing that's supposed to help him brush his teeth. So hopefully that helps him, because it's kind of hard to brush his teeth. Do you like it? I spent all my money on this boy right here. You're so expensive. Yes, you are. Alright, it's been like 2 hours, and we're going over pharm today, and it's so much information, and my professor is actually pretty interactive, and he'll call on you like a lot. So it's like you kind of have to know everything. It's making me nervous that like he really wants you to be on top of your shit, but also he's a professor who taught pharmacology, so he like knows his stuff. Good morning, guys. It is November 10th, Tuesday, and it's 5:35 a.m. I had to be on at the clinical site at like 5:50 to meet with my professor to go in. I start at 6 a.m. and then I have the whole day ahead of me. Honestly, I'm nervous. I was excited, but now I'm nervous. I don't know why. I just haven't been on the floor for a long time, and so just a little scared, but excited, like a little excited. And I don't know how I'm feeling right now, but I hope today goes really good. I'm tired, and I didn't really get good sleep last night because I guess I was just like anxious about this whole thing. But I'll see you guys later. I'll see what I can get while I'm there, but I'm not going to be able to record a lot, but if not, I'll see you guys at the end of the day. Okay guys, it is Friday, November 13th. So the last time I recorded was on Tuesday, the morning of my clinicals, and after that I was just tired, and just haven't been recording the past 2 days. But okay, so what happened during my clinicals was my very first day. Got there at 6 a.m. And then I went there early because my professor wanted us to get access onto our electronic health record to make sure that we have access and know how to get in. And so that actually took us an hour because a lot of us were having issues with getting on. Once we got that done, I got my assignment, and the nurse that I was going to be precepting. Overall, the very first day was mostly just shadowing, kind of getting used to the system and just getting used to being on the floor. So the first 4 weeks I'm going to be on oncology med-surg, and then the second half I'm going to be on surgical med-surg. So it's going to be a lot of it's like basically, from what I heard from my other classmates, like both of the floors are the same. So my professor actually works in that hospital and on the unit that I'm in, so I'm getting a lot of opportunities to do a lot of stuff because my professor knows the nurses there, so they're able to give my professor like work for us to do, and doing a lot of work. So on my very first day, I learned how to use the EMR that the hospital that I'm at uses. I learned how to do a blood administration. I learned how to administer medication, make sure that I know what medication I'm giving to my patients and why I'm giving them to my patients. And then I was able to also take out staples from a patient's leg that was actually on the patient's leg for like more than a month, which shouldn't have been on there for that long, but that was also very interesting. Overall, I got used to working on a lot of skills, knowing how to do a piggyback, knowing how to hang IV lines and medications, and mixing like antibiotics and things like that. So overall, got a feel of the floor, got a feel of like what to expect. And then I practiced doing my S-bar with my professor, and my professor like critiqued me and told me like how I can improve and all that stuff. So overall, it was a good day. It went by super quick. I was so nervous at first, but then I realized at the end of the day, like everything was exciting. And my professor is really good because my professor pushes us to be the best that we can be, and like asks us a lot of questions. He tests our knowledge, makes sure that we're doing like critical thinking, make sure that we're able to reach our goals and like what we want to get out of it. And my professor is really good at making, trying to understand exactly what we want out of the clinicals. And so that is something that I really, really liked. Okay, so after that, I think I had a pretty good day overall. Like I thought it was really fun, very eye-opening, and I love the fact that I don't have to do concept maps or nursing process worksheets, because half the time that I spent usually in clinicals would be like working on a paper instead of focusing on like all my patients and knowing how to like manage like 4 patients at once, if that makes sense. But at the end of the day, I feel like there's still always one patient that you're going to spend all your time with. And I feel like that's how it's always going to be. So you just need to learn how to balance and prioritize like which one is your patient, what do they need for that day, what's the plan and plan of care for that patient. So that's what happened. I honestly just been having a really hard time with like being at home all the time and not being able to go out and study at places. Because before I was able to go to Starbucks and study, but now the fact that I'm home, like I've literally been sleeping at 5 a.m., waking up at like 3 o'clock, and then like barely eating, and I've just been having a really difficult time with ever since like COVID happened, and the fact that I'm home a lot more. Mentally, it's like just waking up and being at home, and like it's just really hard for me to stay motivated, if that makes sense. So I don't know if I'm the only person that's been feeling that way, but that's how I've been feeling. And it's just a little frustrating because there's a lot of things that I want to get done, but at the same time, like it's just the end of my term, and the fact that like I don't have graded exams every week, that I don't have to study as much, but I should be studying because I should be preparing for the exit exam, and everything's basically review, so if you spent all your time throughout the entire, the entire nursing program studying your ass off, it's like when you get to the end, it's like, oh, I know all this stuff, but it's like reviewing it, and like now you have to actually know your stuff, and it's not like guessing anymore. It's like actually knowing, because this is the time that like all your knowledge is basically should be coming back. Like everything you learn isn't just like to take one exam. Everything you learn is gonna come back, because everything you learn is just gonna be used for everything being a nurse. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm speaking. But I still have to do a couple of things this week. I have pharmacology coming up on my exam for next week, and then a couple of assignments to do, and just preparing. Dude, it's already week 3 next week. It's crazy to me. This like whole week went by so quick, even though I spend majority of the time like sleeping, which isn't good. But yeah, if you're someone who's been having a hard time during COVID and being home all the time and not being able to like go out and study at places like what I'm used to, I'm having a really hard time now. And it's been like what, since April that I'm finally like going back to clinicals and feeling like it just feels different. Like it just feels, I mean, yeah, it just feels different getting back on the floor. I love being able to be on clinicals actually, because I'm away from home and just actually getting hands-on experience. So I hope that next week is better. I hope I become a little bit more motivated in terms of like working out more, eating healthier. So that's the update on this week. There wasn't a lot of assignments that's due this week. It's like maybe 4 modules, a couple of focus review hours, and then like 2 assignments for capstone, and then 1 Sigma Theta Tau, which is a 4-hour one. But other than that, I did my first post-assessment this week for funds. It basically asked like 5 open-ended questions, and you just had to answer in paragraphs to your best of your ability. Not that difficult. It's just the fact that everything is like you don't have to get a 78%. It's just like you have to pass at the end, and it's just so different. It's just not as motivating as I'd want it to be, but hopefully it gets a little bit better, and I kind of start to get a little bit more motivated as the week comes, or as the coming weeks come. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to do my best to continue recording every single week, because again, this is something that I want to be able to watch and progress and see like my progression. But yeah, so give a thumbs up if you guys like these kinds of videos. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you guys do have any questions about anything, you can definitely send me a direct message on my Instagram at @crizia___. Thank you guys for watching.